Coming up on today's Arkansas Live, we're going to deal with a tragic topic, but it's one we must talk about. Our children and grandchildren are at risk of falling prey to sex traffickers right here in Arkansas. So I want you to join me today for Arkansas Live. Joining me are Louise Allison and Cassandra Vinson from Partners Against Trafficking Humans, PATH. And we're going to learn how to help protect our kids. That's coming up next as Arkansas Live starts right now. Ladies, I want to thank you for joining me today. I think our topic is going to be of interest. It'll be informative to our viewers. Louise Allison, you are founder and CEO of PATH, also serve as executive director, and Cassandra Vinson serves as the community education coordinator. So I want to know, and so do all of our viewers, how did PATH get started? How did it get founded? First of all, tell us what PATH means, P-A-T-H.
Well, that stands for Partners Against Trafficking Humans, and we began actually because as a clinician, I'm a nurse, I've been in nursing administration for over 35 years, and I saw a lot of things in the hospital, but the girls were labeled as prostitutes, or they were kids that got into trouble, or it was a teenager that got pregnant, and there was a stigma attached to these people that we just didn't talk about. And I had developed a tremendous love for them and started investigating. And then the Lord blessed me with the ability to leave nursing administration and go into this line of work. I knew nothing about nonprofits, but the Lord showed me what to do. And so we started PATH, and that was in 2011. And as I began, we talked to law enforcement about if you could have anything, what's the number one thing you need? And they said, we got to have a safe place to put these girls. There's no services for victims of sex trafficking and very few for sexual assault and prostitution. We opened it up to prostitution because a lot of girls think they're prostitutes, but they are being prostituted. But the lie in their mind says that it's their fault. So that's the reason we opened the title and the mission statement to say all three, so that we could be a safe place for, regardless of their age, for girls to come to receive the help that only the Lord has for them. So as you began this, I want to call attention to the fact that the PATH, the first word there is partners. Yes. Did you have any partners that helped you start this, or did you just go out there and do it on your own? Well, it's God. It's a good so when he asked me to be his partner, Doug Chenault was originally one of the founders with me, and life has called him into a different direction. But we partner with other agencies across the nation and in other countries, because it takes all of us. We're all like-minded in the body of Christ, and we know that the healing comes from our Lord, and so we partner together. And we even partner with other women's shelters and different ministries, such as Dorcas House, River City Ministries, just to come together to make sure that we're caring for these girls well. Now, is there a PATH in other states, or is that just Arkansas? We're just Arkansas. We do have PATH Guatemala. Okay. I would imagine, ladies, that our viewers, people in Arkansas, don't realize that human trafficking is taking place in Arkansas. So how prevalent is this? Well, about 80%, 80 to 90% of the people we serve were born, raised, and sold right here in Arkansas. There's a lot that goes on in the dark and behind the scenes that people just don't look at, and that's primarily because we just get caught in our busyness of I've got to get up, get ready, get to work, stop, get something for dinner, get home, pick up the kids, feed the kids, get my husband off, all that kind of stuff. And so we're just not as aware of our surroundings, I think, that we need to be. What should we look for? I mean, you see on the national news that, there's a panel truck that pulls into a dark alley in Los Angeles or somewhere, and they unload all these people, male and female, and they are human trafficking. So what do we look for in Arkansas?
In Arkansas, What you just talked about, that's kind of the Hollywood version of what trafficking is. That's what I thought it was prior to coming to PATH. A lot of times it's everyday people that are living their everyday normal lives. Kids are going to school, parents going to work, but someone has been grooming them to become victims of sexual assault or trafficking. So they're going to work, they're going to school, but at night or on the weekend, someone is selling and buying them for sex.
How do you sell? Is prostitution illegal in Arkansas?
Yes, it is.
How do you sell somebody? Do you walk down the streets? Do you pass out a card? Do is it done in the office? How does this happen?
Oh my goodness, there's a variety of ways. There are girls that walk the streets, but most of it is internet sales.
Yes.
It's what?
Internet sales. And so the trafficker / boyfriend, husband, dad, uncle, whoever lists them online, people who are wanting to buy sex look online, and they look at the pictures, then they call the number, and then they make the appointment.
So you mean if I'm a young girl and my father, my uncle, my brother, whatever, is settling me online, how do these girls process this? I mean, they've got to know this is something not right here.
They're actually not processing it. Once a girl is sexually assaulted for the first time, it radically changes the way she views herself and the world around her. And a lot of people think, as Sonia was saying, that it's something that goes on someplace else, and they also think that they're locked in a basement or they're handcuffed or they're tied down. The real trap is in the mind, not a physical trap, but a mental, emotional trap. And then a lot of times the traffickers, especially if it's someone they know, a boyfriend, an uncle, a dad, they have groomed them to believe this is your fault.
Okay.
This is your fault. And so they're afraid to come forward. And sometimes they have pictures or videos, and they said, if you go forward, we'll show this. Or if you don't want to do this, your little sister will, and threaten them with family, or we'll kill your mom. And so there's a lot of mind manipulation and lies that keep them hostage.
This is a form of terrorism.
Oh, yeah.
And they take advantage of weakness or ignorance. Well, how do you guys, how do you all fit into this? How do you catch them? Do you, are you the agency that the police call or that the county calls? How does that work?
We do get lots of calls from law enforcement, as well as we have a 24-hour hotline. So if someone is in need of help or needs a safe place to go, then that helpline is the number that they can call, and then we get them connected to the resources or put in a safe place until they can get connected with long-term residential resources.
Okay, so if a girl or a boy is trafficked and all of a sudden it dawns on them, can they call you up?
Yes,
Absolutely.
And you all would rescue them or refer them to an agency, somebody to take care of them?
Absolutely. We either provide services, get them to safety and provide services for them here, or if they're in danger here, we partner with facilities across the U.S. so that we can move them. And we get people in from other states as well because they're safe here and they're not safe in Vegas or Dallas or Baltimore or whatever. And so we do that exchange. And we also educate healthcare providers and different agencies where the girls may frequent, such as pregnancy crisis centers and that type of thing, so that they will know those red flags when they come in and be able to call us.
85% of those PATH has served since opening in 2011 are born, raised, and sold right here in Arkansas.
That's right.
Wow. Well, I don't know about you, but I think we need to let you know the first letter here, PATH, partners, they need partners. They're a 501c3 organization, which means you can donate and help them in helping these young people. I guess most of them are young people. Partners Against Trafficking Humans. Here's the address on your screen, P.O. Box 21066, Little Rock 72221. You can call area 501-993-1641, or the website is pathsaves.org. Or you can call Victim Services Hotline 501. You might be involved in this right now in trafficking. You need to holler, hey, help, I need help, call 501-301-HELP. And the national hotline is 888-373-7888. Do you ever use volunteers, people that want to help?
We do.
We love our volunteers.
Okay.
We're not a one-man show. Again, as our name states, partners. So volunteers are an integral part to doing what we do every day.
So what is that? What do you do every day? If I'm watching today and I want to help, what are you looking for? Teachers, grandparents?
Yes.
Yes.
All of the above. In the day center, we have girls that are going to school and they're raped and they start having night terrors. Then their parents are working and they've got to go to school. Their parents drop them off at school. They can't make it through school. They're sleepy. They can't focus. So they come to the day center. They sleep for a little bit. They get up. We have our activities director has a master's in education, and so she keeps the girls up to date on schoolwork so they don't fall behind. We have therapists. We have a ton of different services in there. But our volunteers are the teachers, the mentors, the ones that walk through life with them, the ones that take them hiking. We have an emergency room physician that he and his wife have taken the girls hiking before. We have a guy that takes them out on the yacht. We have we've gotten tickets to different places that people provide for us. We had someone donate symphony tickets. The girls have never been to a symphony in their life. And so just the ability for the whole community to embrace the broken and the lost and help them put their lives back together. And these girls are in tears over the amount of love they receive from our volunteers.
I would think that most of the dysfunctional families are a target for these traffickers. Kids that have never seen what a biblical or a model family should be like. So how do you restore or maybe for the first time teach these children what a family's like? Let me give you an example. My wife and I had a young girl. Our first church we pastored was downtown Little Rock, right off the freeway, inner city church. And we had a girl show up there in our church one time, and it was just me and my wife at the beginning. She was a runaway. She'd come from Louisiana. She had a little girl with her, about 5 years old. And she eventually got saved, accepted Christ, born again, and we began to try and help her, ministered deliverance to her and prayed for her. And she told us this. It was hard for me to believe. She asked me a question. She said, is it normal for brothers and sisters to have sex with each other? Mm-hmm. I said, no, why would you ask me that? She said, well, that's my family. They were raised with incest, and she thought that was normal. Mm-hmm. So you got to go back and reprogram and give these people the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's hard. It's very, very hard. We had one woman tell us that she'd been raping her dad since she was 7. Oh. And so she believed, because of the lies that she was groomed to believe at an early age, that it was her fault, that she had been raping her own biological father since she was 7 years old. And then the dysfunction in the family frequently causes a girl to want to run, and they run right into the arms of their trafficker. In fact, we even have a small video. Would that be okay to show?
Yes, I want you to pitch to this video.
Okay. It is very normal for our young society, our youth, to put everything out on social media. Mm-hmm. My parents are going through a divorce, or my boyfriend broke up with me, and they've got this drama and trauma on social media, and that is a target for traffickers because, as you mentioned before, they're going for the broken, the lost, those that are struggling. They're a target for the traffickers. And so this video shows a little bit about how a girl is looking for that love and that relationship, and the trafficker is that to her.
Okay, let's watch this, and we'll be right back with contact information for you. Pay attention.
Hey, listen to me while I'm talking to you.
Stop, let go of me!
You're such a disappointment.
Because I'd like to know who that's going to.
Who?
Your father.
I want to see him.
Hello?
I've got to get out of my house.
Your dad drunk again?
Yeah, he's mad and my mom's... she's gone.
Well, stay with me. I've got room.
You have to do this.
Hi, this is Louise. I need help. I can't do this anymore.
Hey, okay, sweetie. Go down there and let's get in.
This is your room.
And this is the art room. And so you can use pretty much anything in here.
Of your money does it cost to live?
Oh, yes, like it.
Shocking, but not shocking. This happens more than people realize.
It does. One of the things about the video is people don't realize what's going on around them all the time, and this is not new. It has a new name. Human trafficking is a new name for an age-old problem of sexual abuse and the stealing of the innocence of our youth. I don't know why, as many times as I've seen this video, this is the first time that it connected with me, because that's how old I was. The first time I was sold, I was 14 years old, and it went on for 2 years, and I never even came forward with that's what happened to me until years later when I developed a relationship with Christ and I got into a recovery group that it helped me realize that the Lord can completely heal me of that. And then when my past came crashing into my present, that's when the Lord blessed me with the ability to leave my job as a nurse administrator and start Path. And these girls, these are women, boys, girls, even men that come to us all the time and say, that was me, that was me. And by a huge blessing with Cell's agency of putting this video together, and Lamar Signs and so many different connections across our community, we can get this message out that don't believe the lie. You are not the only one, and it's yours to give, not theirs to take, and the Lord can completely heal that which was stolen.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You can help save a life. You can help save a destruction. Here's the information on your screen. Become a partner with PATH, Partners Against Trafficking Humans. P.O. Box 21066, Little Rock 72221. area 501-993-1641. And you can go on the website, pathsaves.org. Victim Services. You may just watch this video and you think, wow, that's me, or that's the girl next door, or that's my family. Call Victim Services Hotline, 501-301-HELP. And the national hotline is 888-373-7888. I want to ask a question. Some red flags or warning signs that someone is being trafficked. What should people do if they suspect this? Call your number.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that?
Yes, we always tell people don't try to be a hero if you see something going on. That's for law enforcement.
Yeah.
But if someone is in need of help, they can call our 24-hour helpline, the number that you mentioned, the 501-301-HELP.
Okay. I guess the big questions that I've always asked, and we have enough time here. My next question is going to be if you can be thinking about any survivor stories. But this is the question I've always had when I've seen these kind of things, and I imagine other people ask the same question: why don't these girls or boys run away? Why don't they escape? Why don't they just get out?
That's a common question that people ask, and it's because the trap is not the basement or the lock on the door. The trap is in the mind.
Is the mental.
I
Okay.
believe from that first sexual assault that was it. My life was over. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I felt dirty. I felt nasty. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And then I belonged to them. And I'm telling you, there were several girls there. We robotically went through every day going where we were told to go and doing exactly what we were told to do. I never even considered the option of calling my mom. My mom would have picked me up in a heartbeat. I never considered my dad would have been there. Anybody would have come and gotten me out. I didn't know resources. I didn't know a way. And so that's the reason we push. And Sonia is so good at this, pushing the education, saying there is a way out and we're here and we will help you and we will walk beside you every step of the way. But there were no resources. I mean, yeah. I'm old. It was a long time ago. But so the trap is in the mind and we just don't know how to get out. And I was in that trap for years. Grew up, got married, had children, had a career, had all that going on. So I'm functioning well on the outside, but in the inside, I'm still that 14-year-old raped, beat, suicidal little girl. And that just resides inside of us until the Lord can rip that away and fill it with the Spirit.
So these are predators that use mind control.
Absolutely.
To control their victims. Like you said, the sex trafficking is just the outward perimeters.
Yes.
It's just the process, the procedures. But they really do the number up here. Mm-hmm. And you all have to reverse that. Okay, last question. You have any survivor stories, people like yourself that have gotten delivered, gotten over this and gotten back on their feet and resumed normal victory lives?
I think we've got several. One of the things I want to say really quick that is a quick survivor story is we had a woman with her children coming into the center one day just in panic mode that her husband had been arrested for the sexual abuse and pornography that had taken place within their family. The youngest survivor we've ever dealt with to date was 4 years old, and she was a porn star at the age of 4. And so we've got this entire family unit, mom struggling, dad's going off to prison. What we find out through investigation in our time with the family is that mom is an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse that had never received the healing she needed. Dad is also an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse where he was brutally sodomized as a young boy, and that had gone on for years. And these two grow up and start a family. And what is normal is that survivors either retreat and want to die or begin acting out. And there's usually kind of about a 50-50 split there. So it was the perfect storm and the perfect environment for the sexual abuse. But what Satan is meant to trying to destroy, the Lord can bring back together. Yeah. So mom has healed, the kids have healed, we're several years into it, dad has healed, he's gone through the help that he needed, and this family is going to come together and their lives are going to be a living testimony of how God can restore what the world can completely restore what the world has tried to tear apart.
And it's the pattern is it should, you correct me if I'm wrong, it should go on and on to the next generation, next generation, next generation. Then the positive, the next family, the next generation is not going to deal with this because they've already dealt with it. Everybody's going to be better and better as they go along.
And then we even had, and then I'll let you share, we even had a girl that was raised in a beautiful Christian family, came to us with some sexual abuse. They tried to cover it up with a lot of different ways, and she accepted Christ as her Savior with us, even though she'd been going to the church this whole time. And then do you have one?
I do. I have a story that lets me brag on our Path Day Center. We had a family that we've been working with, and one of the things about trafficking is it doesn't have a face or a socioeconomic status. It can happen to anyone, anywhere. So regardless of where you live, you're not exempt from it. And so with this particular family, the child was violated in the home, couldn't go to school, having nightmares, night terrors, calling parents as soon as they get to school, hey, I can't stay here, this is too much for me. So what Path did is Path stepped in as like an emergency contact. So instead of mom and dad having to miss work, we could go pick the child up from school, get them to the center. They were able to get some rest because they've been up all night with their night terrors. Get up, our activities director, who's also the certified teacher, gets the school work, works with the child. That way parents don't lose their income because they're able to continue going to work, and the child is not behind in school. So those are just some of the stories that we like to share as a success.
You guys, my hat's off to you. You're doing a wonderful job. I've learned a lot today, and I hope our viewers have too. If you'd like to help Path financially, volunteer-wise, these ladies need your help. Partners Against Trafficking Humans, right here in Central Arkansas, Box 21066, Little Rock, Arkansas 72221. Call the number on the screen, area 501-993-1641. The website, pathsaves.org. We're out of time, but thank y'all so much for coming and sharing with the people of Arkansas. May the Lord bless you in everything that you do to help these folks.
He does.
Amen. And thank you for joining us.
Send your questions, comments, and testimonies to Happy Caldwell at Post Office Box 26207, Little Rock, Arkansas 72221, or email happycaldwell@vtntv.com. Remember to follow VTN on Facebook at VTN Your Arkansas Christian Connection, and follow Happy Caldwell on Twitter at Happy_Caldwell. Today's episode is available to watch on demand at vtntv.com and click Watch. You can also watch VTN via live stream at vtntv.com.